Now, what's so awesome about this is if he gets one more win, I am right in my prediction.
Yeah, and that'd be the second time all week Andre's predicted
anything. All right, we've only casted twice together. Why you gotta be like that, bro?
Between Alicia and Thorzain. Now, it's interesting because, you know, actually, I just read that Alicia faced against Thorzain earlier in the EG's Masters Cup, and he lost to him. Damn. And that's why their record history has been in favor of Thorzain. So Thorzain kind of has Alicia's number.
Well, it's only one series. Statistically, that's
okay. Yeah, that's very bad sample.
Irrelevant.
What's the sample size for a simple random sample, Andre?
I think for a simple random sample, oh God, you're killing me. 30.
You yelled at me for not knowing. I thought it was 100, and then you're like, no, man, it's 30.
It's
and then you're
30.
And then Marston was 21, and you're like, 1976 was 21.
Yeah, 1970, because he was born in like 1954.
How would you know what happened in 1976, man? What happened in 1975?
What didn't happen in 1975? Boom, headshot. Top left-hand corner, we have Mouse Thorzain as the green Terran. Bottom right-hand position, we have Short Stuff, a.k.a. Alicia from Team Slayers. He is spawning as the red Protoss. Alicia, you know, it's funny. When Alicia first came into the scene, I was like, oh, it looks like Princess changed his name and race.
Oh, you thought, it was one of those name changes. Yeah. Actually, I thought Alicia was kind of like Marine King, because I was talking about it earlier with Bitter and saying how Marine King makes all these weird names like Claire in Brood War, and he became Ellen Page. And then I was like, oh, Alicia, is that another new name for Marine King? But Alicia, man, can he turn it around? It is Ohana. It is his map pick.
Yeah, I really like Ohana. Of course, it's on the Season 7 map pool. And
for ladder.
Thank you.
Yes.
And it's, let's be honest, it's gotten a lot of good praise, I think, overall in the community. Just one thing, depots. We love lower depots on there, which I don't know if they actually use the NASL version. I don't know if they use the NASL version.
They should have, because we definitely did place depots at the bottom.
Yeah, it's not PVZ.
I mean, I don't think Thorzain's going to double bunker at the bottom with the Reapers and Marines. Or will he? Man, maybe that'd be metagame breaking.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, man. But, I mean, Alicia is going for the same build as he didn't get into one Forge after Nexus first. Andre, what happened in 1975? Wheel of Fortune debuted in 1975.
Yeah, I knew that.
No, you didn't.
Okay, who was the host?
I have no idea.
Bob Barker.
Bob Barker? He's the host of Price is Right. Yeah. I'm money with that. I actually tried to study trivia so I can play on Jeopardy one day.
Really?
And I failed miserably. I couldn't even beat Trivia Pursuit. I was so bad at that game.
Yeah, trivia isn't my strong suit.
I'm bad at board games in general. That's why I play StarCraft, man. We do see the Marine picking off the probe, and he sees the command center transition. So, I mean, it's pretty much expected, though. It's the same exact openings from both players and whatnot.
And how does Thorzain actually go about this particular game? Because does he actually know? Yes, he knows that it's the Nexus first, and he's going to put down the third command center. Now, I want to talk about the strengths of this build because there's a lot of options you can go with a third command center. People might seem, well, you know, you become a lot more vulnerable to all-ins. And that's just because you delay your barracks for so long, you delay your gas for so long. This command center actually makes you a ton of money really, really fast because you can...
No kidding, Andre.
Well, let me just say it real quick because you can saturate your bases so much faster than normal, and then you just completely stop SCVs. And normally you never stop SCVs because you're like, oh, wait, I got to build up for my third base and try to get enough SCVs so I can expand later. You don't have to do that anymore. Just stop at, it's 16 SCVs per round, and then, of course, the 6 per the refineries. You stop and you just say, when I get my, when I'm prepared to get my third, I will. Let's focus all on units. You get a lot more units in that mid-game stage than normal.
Yeah, and you know, the third here on Ohana is a little bit easier to defend compared to other maps in the map pool, like Dual Sight, for example. So, you know, Thorzain going for that option isn't bad at all. He is transitioning with 2 more barracks. Now, how will Alicia approach this game differently? You know, he played really passive. He tried a little bit of light aggression, but in the end was not really doing anything. And he kind of sat back even with an upgrade advantage. And I'm wondering, will Alicia change his game plan, or is he going to just try to see if he can catch Thorzain at a timing?
You know, I'm really confused with his build because he went Robo and then Twilight Council. Normally when you're going Twilight Council and going for that blink, you go the Twilight Council immediately. You don't go for the robotics facility because you basically say, okay, I'm already banking that my opponent isn't going for, you know, let's say Banshees, Cloak Banshees. I'm not going to prepare for that. I know they're going some sort of drop play. Let me prepare for that, get the required amount of units out. I just felt like Alicia didn't have enough units that whole game.
Yeah, I really felt it was behind.
And I think it's because of his build order. It really didn't gear him up to defend against all the different things that Thorzain could have done. So if I had one criticism to say, go for the Twilight Council before the Robotics Bay, but he's not doing that. He's getting a faster third. This is very, very tricky.
Yes, and he is still getting the Robotics as well. Now keep in mind, he actually has a Stalker outside the ramp that did poke up just for a second. He only saw a few Marines. He says, all right, well, there's no sign of anything. So, in fact, I really suspect that he's going for the same exact build. That's why he gets the fast third Nexus. Very good read from Alicia. The question is his transition going to be as solid, because this puts him even less units than normal?
Well, in this position, Alicia has to just assume my opponent is not going for some sort of Cloak Banshee. So get the Twilight Council up, get the charge first, and just get a crap load of gateway units, because I think teching at this point really, really weakens you. For instance, if I tech up to Colossus, now, yeah, Robotics Bay is out, or Robotics Facility is out. So I'm just going to eat my words.
Well, I mean, he's getting Observer out just to be safe again.
Yeah,
to track army movement.
I think that's weak, honestly. I think it weakens your army too much. You won't be able to defend your third base based on movement that could happen with medevacs over on this side and on this side. Ohana is a pretty spread out map in terms of expansions.
Yeah.
You can be thinned out very easily with medevac drops, which are the most prevalent things in TVP. And I feel like if Thorzain actually sees this and identifies what's going on, he will be able to just outmaneuver his opponent.
Well, one thing that's different is we do see Immortals finally being colored out here from Alicia, and he's also just checking for the third, which he doesn't see yet from Thorzain. Of course, Thorzain, he's doing what we said earlier, get a lot of SCVs and then grab that third as he moves out. Stim and +1, the same timings are lining up in the production tab, so Thorzain, again, the same exact mid-game setup. The only difference is that Alicia, this third is not discovered yet, is it, Andre?
No, it is not. Thorzain still has not identified this, so he's playing a lot more passive than he should be. All these units should be directly over here in his opponent's Xel'Naga Tower. This is the biggest problem. Thorzain really hasn't been too diligent at checking, but here we go, the first SCV. If he can get over there, that'll be a big turning point, I feel, for Thorzain. If he can see that this Nexus is coming up, which he will, instantly his units should be pushed out, and he should be on the road just trying to do as much damage as possible.
First, he's going to make a pit stop and take out the Manor Pylon, blocking that expansion. Of course, Alicia sees all of this. He's going for 2 forges, and that means he's going to be at triple forge. Maybe triple upgrades, who knows, man? That'd be pretty cool, but for the most part, he's still pretty unit limited because he's going for a bunch of upgrades, +2, and Blink. Again, Andre, he's ignoring us.
I think charge should have been done by now. Plus, he went +1/+1 instead of going 0-2. Or +2 armor. I think +2 armor is just 10 times better than 1-1. And Thorzain might be in a really good position to take it right here.
Yeah, I mean, Alicia has 7 gates, but he can't really harvest it just yet. In fact, the stim is going to come before Alicia's prepared. The force fields are defensive, but it blocks his zealots. And he doesn't have Blink. It's only halfway done in +2. A perfect timing for Thorzain. In fact, he's got so many units. He is going to spread out his units so very, very nicely. His medevacs are healing as well. I mean, Alicia doesn't look like he's got enough stuff here.
He doesn't have enough stuff. And look at this, units all the way on the right-hand side. He had to do that because he had to defend against potential drops. And now Thorzain's just going to bulldoze through, take out this third. This is very, very easy build for Thorzain. It looks so trivial, and it's because Alicia's build was not geared up for defending against what Thorzain was doing. Yeah,
I mean, Alicia did everything correct in terms of position, just, again, didn't have the right tools to fight that battle. So Alicia, at this point, what is he doing? He's transitioned to Templar Archives, realized he actually needs AoE because of the way Thorzain's set up. And Thorzain's just going to go ahead and take another 4th base, exactly similar to game number 1.
Oh, man. I'm just really, really sad that it's already this. I mean, the disparity is so crazy. 150 to 92. You can see Frodan. I mean, this factory is going to get in here, see everything that's going on. It's not even going to be shot down. These upgrades are super out of place. They should not be being made like this. I'm really sad about this game.
Yeah, well, it's pretty sloppy with triple forges. I mean, I guess Alicia was just, I mean, you could tell his game plan was to power it with these upgrades, but Thorzain picking the timings perfectly right before Alicia had anything. And he's going to, again, play defensive. He's going to wait for +2/+2 charge as well as his Templar to come out, while Thorzain finally getting his Ghosts out. His Ghost Academy is about to finish Mobius Reactor. So Thorzain, as he probably moves out with his 4th base, We'll probably even go for another timing, and yeah, he's moving out to the center of the map.
And here we go. It looks like they will meet up. These High Templars are in the front. Can they do enough damage?
They have no Storm.
Ooh.
It's just speedbacks and make it to Archons, probably damage Sponge, but he's abandoning those Archons. And he doesn't have charge. That's why he's not engaging, and he doesn't have any force field to kind of ditch. In fact, he has to blink and try to do a fire drill exit where first person out the door is the one that's safe.
Well, we're going to see.
That's a Chinese fire drill, isn't that? Everyone just dashes. I mean, fire drills, man, they practice one by one, man. I can say that.
Well, you can. Actually, technically, I can too.
Well, you're Malaysian, right?
I'm Malaysian. I'm a little bit of Chinese.
Malaysians can speak Chinese. Fun fact.
Well, and some Malaysians can speak Chinese.
Okay, well, a lot of them.
I can say bad words.
Thorzain scans and takes out the Observer as well. He's been really on top of that all series. Very, very key.
That's what you have to do. You don't want your Protoss opponent tracking all your movements, because that way you can a lot of times catch your opponent out of position. You have not premature, but I guess defensive High Templar storms. Those are really good. Like, you plant the storms where you think your opponent is going to be, dealing maximum damage when those big engagements happen. And you can also do mass feedbacks on medevacs, on ghosts, things like that, and catch your Terran opponent out of position.
Thorzain has 9 ghosts out into the field, and that's going to be disgusting amount of EMPs.
This is not going to end nicely for Alicia, I don't think.
Yeah, Alicia doesn't even have Storm yet, so we can't even. Only thing to do is feedback and morph into Archons basically with these Templar, or use them as the worst meat shield of all time.
Well, it looks like both players are gearing up, and Thorzain's coming in here.
And he's just going to scan to see if he can pick off some of those Templars. Because Snipe does pick off one.
And oh my god, money EMPs pretty soon.
Wow.
Where are they?
There, he does hit one of them. 2 of them. The second one does whiff. And Thorzain, he just has way too much. He's maxed out against a 134 Protoss army. And Alicia, the third falls yet again. Look at how many units there are. Storm does drop on a lot of the units, but Thorzain realizes he's going to have to kite this army.
There it is. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Thorzain is going to take it 2-0. A very decisive win for Thorzain over Alicia. Kind of surprising. You know, I thought no, I didn't think it was going to be a lot
said
closer.
Thorzain
I said it was going to be 2-0 because that guy is amazing. His builds are so precise.
It's very good. Thorzain, I mean, he's been the feared Terran with preparation.
Yeah.
Especially Terran versus Pro. Why did I doubt him?
I know. What was your prediction?
I said Alicia would win 2-1 because I thought he faced him once, he'd be prepared. I said, you know, how Koreans are not used to foreigners. I shouldn't have doubted Thorzain. Marcus, I'm sorry, man. If you're watching, I apologize. Well, that was well done by him.
Yeah. I think it was just the build. The build in general is just a lot better and a lot more thought out than his opponent. Alicia had this build that he's all over the place. He's getting tech, he's getting these upgrades, and he's also getting a fast third. Well, if there's any pressure at all, you're dead.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Alicia crumbled under the iron fist of Thorzain. That game was brought to you by iBuyPower, the company responsible for powering NASL through all of our towers and our equipment, basically all the electricity. Thank you so much, iBuyPower, for having these beautiful lights coming on us.